The rise and fall of civilizations is a tale as old as humanity itself. But what happens when entire cultures vanish suddenly, leaving behind only remnants of their once glorious existence? Today, we're exploring 4 ancient civilizations that vanished mysteriously, with little to no explanation for their disappearance. From the jungles of Southeast Asia to the icy shores of Greenland, get ready to dive into the unknown, the unexpected, and the unexplained. The Khmer Empire, known for its grandeur and dominance in Southeast Asia, was an extraordinary civilization that ruled from the 9th to the 15th century. At its peak, the empire stretched across much of modern-day Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam. The empire's capital, Angkor, was a bustling metropolis renowned for its architectural achievements, most notably the awe-inspiring temple complex of Angkor Wat. These grand structures stand as symbols of the Khmer's wealth, power, and devotion to their gods. The empire's success was largely due to its mastery of water management. The Khmers constructed an intricate network of canals, reservoirs, and irrigation systems that allowed them to grow vast quantities of rice and sustain a large population. Angkor itself was one of the largest cities in the world at its height, with some estimates suggesting up to 1 million inhabitants. The grandeur of Angkor Wat, originally built as a Hindu temple and later converted into a Buddhist shrine, reflects the cultural and religious richness of the empire. But despite its might, the Khmer Empire collapsed suddenly in the 15th century. The once great city of Angkor was abandoned, its temples reclaimed by the jungle. Historians and archaeologists have proposed a number of theories to explain this mysterious decline. One of the leading theories suggests that the very system that sustained Angkor, its complex water management infrastructure, may have also been its downfall. Prolonged droughts followed by heavy monsoon rains may have disrupted the system, causing widespread crop failures and food shortages. Some also believe that external threats played a role. The empire faced repeated invasions from neighbouring kingdoms, particularly the Ayutthaya kingdom in present-day Thailand. These conflicts would have weakened the empire, sapping its resources and destabilising its political structure. Internal strife and power struggles within the Khmer elite may have further exacerbated the situation. Another theory points to religious shifts. The growing influence of Theravada Buddhism, which emphasised individual salvation over the God-King ideology that had united the empire, could have eroded the authority of the central government, leading to fragmentation. Despite these plausible explanations, the precise reasons for the empire's collapse remain elusive. The magnificent temples of Angkor still stand as a testament to the Khmer's ingenuity, but they offer no clear answers as to why their civilization disappeared into the shadows of history. The Mississippians were an advanced civilization that thrived in the central and southeastern parts of what is today the United States from around 800 to 1600 AD. Their largest city, Cahokia, was situated near the Mississippi River and was a marvel of urban planning. At its peak in the 12th century, Cahokia was the largest city north of Mexico, home to as many as 20,000 people. The Mississippians constructed enormous earthen mounds, some of which were used for religious ceremonies, whilst others served as the bases for temples or elite residences. The most impressive of these is Monk's Mound, a massive earthen pyramid that stands over 100 feet tall and covers 14 acres. Cahokia was a centre of trade, religion, and political power, and its influence extended across much of North America. The Mississippians practiced sophisticated agriculture, cultivating crops like maize, beans, and squash. They also had a complex social structure, with a ruling elite, artisans, and farmers all playing distinct roles in society. Yet, by the time European explorers reached the area in the 16th century, Cahokia had been abandoned, and the once thriving Mississippian culture had all but vanished. Theories abound as to what caused the collapse of this civilization. Some scholars suggest that environmental factors played a significant role. The region may have experienced flooding, droughts, or a depletion of resources caused by overpopulation and deforestation. The reliance on maize agriculture could have led to soil exhaustion, which would have made it difficult to sustain large populations. There is also evidence that the Mississippians were experiencing increasing internal conflict. Some mounds show signs of hasty construction and fortification, suggesting that the people may have been preparing for warfare. Social unrest, combined with environmental pressures, could have led to the collapse of the centralized political structure, causing people to abandon the city and scatter into smaller communities. Another possibility is that disease introduced by early European explorers who came into contact with Native American tribes even before widespread colonization could have devastated the population. Epidemics of smallpox, influenza, and other diseases wiped out large portions of indigenous populations across the Americas, and it is likely that the Mississippians were no exception. Despite these theories, the exact cause of the Mississippian decline remains a mystery. Cahokia's once mighty mounds now lie quietly in the Illinois countryside, their origins and fall still shrouded in uncertainty. Long before the rise of the Maya and Aztec civilizations, the Olmecs dominated the Gulf Coast of Mexico from around 1200 to 400 BC. Often regarded as the Mother-Culture of Mesoamerica, the Olmecs are credited with laying the foundation for many of the region's later civilizations. They are perhaps best known for their colossal stone heads, some of which are over 10 feet tall and weigh several tons. These massive sculptures, along with other artifacts, reveal the Olmecs' sophisticated artistic and architectural capabilities. The Olmecs built monumental cities such as San Lorenzo and La Venta, which were home to elaborate religious and ceremonial complexes. They developed a rudimentary form of writing, as well as a calendar system that likely influenced the more advanced systems used by the Maya. The Olmecs also played a significant role in the development of the ball game, a ritualistic sport that became a central aspect of Mesoamerican culture. Despite their cultural and technological achievements, the Olmecs mysteriously abandoned their cities around 400 BC, and their civilization disappeared. Some scholars suggest that environmental changes, such as shifting river patterns or volcanic eruptions, may have made their cities uninhabitable. The region is prone to natural disasters, and it's possible that a combination of environmental factors forced the Olmecs to leave their cities and disperse into smaller, less centralized communities. Others believe that internal conflicts or invasions from neighboring groups may have played a role in their decline. The exact nature of Olmec society remains enigmatic, and it is possible that political upheaval or power struggles among the elite contributed to their downfall. One of the most puzzling aspects of the Olmec mystery is the lack of written records. While some evidence of their early writing system exists, it remains largely undeciphered, leaving scholars with only fragments of their story. Unlike the Maya, who left behind extensive inscriptions, the Olmecs left very little in the way of written history. The Olmecs' disappearance remains one of the greatest enigmas of ancient Mesoamerica. Their colossal heads and ceremonial sites still stand, but the people who created them vanished, leaving behind more questions than answers. In 986 AD, Norse settlers led by Eric the Red established 2 colonies on the southwestern coast of Greenland. For centuries, these Viking communities thrived in the harsh Arctic environment, building farms, churches, and trading with Europe. They maintained a stable society, even as they faced the challenges of growing crops and raising livestock in a cold and often unforgiving climate. The Norse Greenlanders were remarkable for their resilience, adapting to the extreme conditions and sustaining a European-style society on the edge of the known world. At their peak, the colonies had a population of around 5,000 people. Archaeological evidence shows that they built stone churches, held Christian ceremonies, and even maintained contact with Norway and Iceland through trade. But by the 15th century, the Greenland Viking colonies had vanished. The last written record from the colony dates to 1408, after which all traces of their presence disappear. What could have caused this hardy and resourceful population to abandon their settlements? One of the most compelling explanations is climate change. The onset of the Little Ice Age in the 14th century brought colder temperatures to Greenland, making farming even more difficult. The Norse settlers relied heavily on agriculture and livestock, and as the climate cooled, their ability to sustain themselves may have diminished. Overgrazing and soil depletion likely worsened their situation, leading to food shortages. There is also evidence that the Norse had conflicts with the Inuit, who had arrived in Greenland around the same time. While the Norse had initially thrived in isolation, they may have struggled to compete with the Inuit for resources as conditions worsened. Trade with Europe, which had been a lifeline for the Greenlanders, also declined during this period. Without access to essential goods like iron and timber, the colony may have become increasingly isolated and vulnerable. Despite these theories, the final fate of Greenland's Vikings remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Their stone ruins, scattered across Greenland's icy landscape, offer tantalizing clues, but no definitive answers. From the towering temples of Angkor to isolation of Greenland's Vikings, these four civilizations achieved incredible feats of human ingenuity before their mysterious disappearances. What do you think happened to these civilizations? Leave your theories in the comments below. But if you've made it this far, please do consider subscribing to the channel, it really does help us out a lot. But as always, thank you for watching, stay curious, and we'll see you on the next one.